clearly. But North, and did have a stint against Gambit Youngsters on Vertigo as well, which is perhaps a little bit of a surprise that they chose to play a best of one on Vertigo itself, given, as you said, their performance has been a little bit questionable. But this current position, we do see that North is gonna, of course, have to concede the advantage. With the tie coming through, Endpoint will be given more than enough more than an opportunity here to not only keep themselves at an advantage moving forward, but also potentially control North for the entirety of this first half. Something we've seen in the past as well. The T's, as much as they might not be as dependent on the income, still required, they still needed. An Endpoint, if they're able to keep them away from planting, if they're able to keep them away from, you know, getting any wonky rounds, North is going to have to struggle quite a little bit, and let's see how it goes.
This rebuy not even particularly that strong for them. 2 Galils plaguing the T side so far. Again, you can see, like you say, the dominance starting to at least shine in terms of confidence for Endpoint here. Thomas willing to take the peaks, Mighty Max backing him up. MSL just barely missing the corner, still gets away with the first, second from Gade as well. The worst part about that, it's not even Thomas that falls. He is still kept low on 17, so an easy kill to find potentially. They leave themselves exposed here on this A site. The rotate from Robin will come to provide the extra manpower, but in a 5-on-2 site take, or make it 4-on-2, as Christo is already rotating over toward the back of the B bomb site. The bomb will join it. Bit of an overstack, or not even an overstack, but more of a commitment that had to be made by Endpoint. North reading it well, have taken over the B site, should be getting this round locked and loaded, at least the T side. Back to winning ways so far. Endpoint, they should be looking for the save. If they can scramble Crucial's AWP, that would be even better, and that's exactly what Thomas is able to do. So this round not going to be a lost cause. 3 rifles saved is standard. They've got the money behind them, there's no need to worry yet.
Oh, absolutely. The best part, as you said, Thomas on the op. That's a lot of cash they'll bring over. That's a lot of economy they'll be able to salvage on top of that. North, though, I gotta give it to them. I didn't expect them to be as ferocious in their attack, as quick to move in their aggression. It comes off as a little bit reckless, sure. But the reasoning behind it seems to be pretty clear, right? They want to surprise Endpoint, and they did. They did it perfectly well. Let's see if they try that again, though, and I have my doubts it's going to succeed. And then, since Endpoint, you know, you can burn them once. The second time, they'll be having some wet towels ready to extinguish the flames once it gets too hotted. Or too heated, excuse me. AZ. Solo towards yellow short. Mighty Max blinded fully. Gonna be tagged as well, and he is gonna be tagged out. As he's gonna have to say goodbyes. Gade gets splashed by Thomas through the wall, but he is still alive. And North, they secured an entry. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Pressure on Gade already down low. And with the way that North are moving right now up toward the ramp as a dedicated unit, seems like this is the fight that they will take here in round number 8. Thomas has to be careful. Crucial does seem to want to overextend onto this angle. It might be worth the check, but no, Molotov down. Oh, we'll keep North at bay for now, though. No reason to be committing through the smokes as of yet. Thomas back into this angle, checking onto the corner where he can sit on the site safely without really being spotted on that short position. Smoke fading, though. They need a flashbang if they want to challenge Crucial. Thankfully, not even needed. MSL on his way to the site. AZ gets one, but a whiff out of MSL. Traded by Thomas. Back to a 3-on-2, but look at the health of 2 of these players. Bomb will thankfully go down. They can get into the after plants, but Crucial just narrowly misses. The timing of there on that player crossing over just barely misses the arm on the way through as well. 3-on-2 retake, difficult, but manageable with the damage. They need to find kills quickly, though.
The real and crucial tough position to be in. Luckily, 2 players low, so as you said, There's definitely a chance this could succeed. Good pop flash. Makes it work. Cajun B is out. It's still going to be a 2-on-2, and still time is ticking. Although Surreal and the nade, Crucial comes in with the Kobe, secures the round, and almost unexpectedly, they overtake this 1-on-3 rather effectively, rather quickly. Gotta give it to them. Didn't expect that North wouldn't even be given a fighting chance, and well, 4-4, tied back up as North will be reinvesting. Timeout being called, though, for the Northern boys. Discussing their possibilities and their chances. See if Cajun B goes for... Does he go for the op? I think he's thinking about it deeply.
Yeah. Definitely should at this point. Crucial needs that challenge here on the side of North. The AWP would be not just more beneficial for North, but probably more beneficial for Cajun B as well. He's on a bit of a rough start here in this game, a single kill to his name. AWP would provide that bit more of a stable factor for him. What decision do they make? Down into rifles. Fair enough. Cajun B not going to be investing, keeping a little bit of money reserved. The bank already. Fair enough. You can respect it. See what they can make of this round, though, as Endpoint able to level things off yet again, become more of a nuisance for this side of North to face. Like you said, with how close that Vertigo went against Gambit youngsters, it's kind of shocking that Endpoint give them the, or North give Endpoint the chance to play this map. In terms of, you know, sure they can win out on it, but playing it close is always a deadly way to go about a map. It can flip either way. So far, though, great entry by MSL. Catch out onto Thomas down that ramp position. He's keeping the advantage with North for now, but look at Crucial. Hungry for the information. It all depends on the timing. No. The flashbang was good. MSL commits to it. Gade in from behind as well. 5-on-2. A very clean sight take from North.
This is a little bit of a surprise because, you know, Endpoint, they seem to be liking the aggression early on, but they are supporting it very poorly. Thomas going in solo towards A ramp, even with a pop flash, it leaves you very vulnerable. And it comes as a surprise that they actually decide to only let him be the one to go for the hard aggression, instead of trying to go with 3 players, as you would usually see many other teams. For example, in this case, I think the first one that comes to mind would be definitely one of the Polish, or Norderwind even, for example, Hard Legion. I don't know, we can keep it, you know, or I don't know, Salamander, for example, how they played their Vertigo map against Saw. They continuously played hard aggression towards A ramp. They had 2 or 3 players minimum playing that control, looking to take the challenge. And here, Endpoint, I would say perhaps underestimating what North can do against you if not going to be taking all the necessary precautions. So 4-5 as North take the lead back again. And, well, money is not an acute problem, but it's going to become one for Endpoint.
Bank is starting to slip. Yeah, they do need a couple round stabilizers here just to get back into this one. North are able to establish the lead yet again here. Crucial will be wielding that AWP. Interestingly, that North have completely ignored the sniper on this T side. It does show they are willing to keep banking into these rifles and play more of the versatile setup, which again is confidence brimming from a team like this. Max, though, has to be incredibly careful, but catches AZ with a nade in hand. A first kill traded, but Thomas good for the return. Oh, Crucial could not get better timing even if he asked for it. Catches the Krista in the back. MSL dead as well. Cajun B, however, does return a refrag. Will he expect the player on the back of the site, though? Of course not. Rounds traded evenly across the board right now. 5-5 tied up again. Money becoming an issue for North, or at least for a couple of their players. I'm not too sure a full rebuy is even possible for this side now.
Most likely it shouldn't, right?
I mean, 2 players had like 24, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very weak if they do decide to go for it. And, well, they do have a full buy if they go for an eco. The next round can be an investment actually worth their time. So let's find out if it's only pistols and Kevlar for the few lucky individuals with the money itself, or is it an actual investment itself? If I'd had to wager, I'd say it's pistols only. Even then, maybe limiting themselves to UP to 50s. Another timeout. Already 3 timeouts before we even reach halftime. This is definitely a tiny bit of a surprise. I didn't expect North to be burning through those blocks that quickly, but seems like they have a lot to discuss, and I respect that. I hope they're able to solve whatever mystery might be, well, whatever mystery Endpoint is presenting to be for them.
I don't know if it's more of a concern or more of a benefit that they take 2 pauses in a row.
Right?
But they've definitely got something undecided on this squad. They are going to go for the rebuy, though. Maybe that was the risk that they were calculating, perhaps. Full investment has been made, of course. 2 Galils, AK in the hands of Gade, the only real powerful rifle that they've got under the belt at the moment. Still, Endpoint do take away this round. Not just 6 will be secured, most likely 7 to come as well. This is where North might be put under a bit more of a strain here on this B side so far. Interestingly, mid take to come. No one watching it apart from Thomas. He has a slight angle, but Cajun B says no to that one. Great first entry. Knowing that there's a Galil on the side of this North team as well, maybe means that Endpoint are unaware of the investment. Could be AKs and Galils, could be a hero buy, but it is going to keep them on their toes at least. And smoke down Surreal. Trying to bide his time well. Beautiful nade down onto the first. Christo, good return though. Robin gets away with 3.
Oh, that is very nice to see. Robin coming out in style, and best part, he allows Endpoint to potentially take this retake successfully. Although Christo, he will be able to shut down Mighty Max. The angle and the pop flash support that, and Crucial with an op in his hands. Oh, he knows the corner is covered, and he still takes the fight with a USPS. Unfortunately, it is not really going to give you too much of a chance. Wait, did I see that correctly? Did Christo just choose an M4A4 instead of an AWP or an AK? What alternate reality are we living in here? That is... wow. I did not expect that. I mean, I understand that he doesn't take the AWP, but play with the M4A4. That is just blasphemy when you have an AK at choice. Wow, okay. Well. 5-6, North. They'll keep the lead. Barely, but they'll keep it.
Raping through, yeah. Endpoint now put down onto a scrappy little force buy of their own as well. The economy not going to be favoring them. AWP for Crucial, but Glass Cannon, unfortunately. M4s are in play. The rest down onto pistols, however. So this is going to be, again, a more difficult round. MSL already taking out Thomas. North now realizing what is up in terms of this buy round. They'll commit toward the A side of the map, it seems, as smokes go down. Flashes and Molotovs flying through. Yeah, I was going to say, we need that molly into back of castle or back of tower, and that is exactly what they get. They'll clear the front part of the site. Robin, though, good return. The boost, however, good enough, but Robin's still alive. Finally will get shut down by MSL. Back to a 3-on-2. Christo takes out Mighty Max. And that'll be the round itself. Surreal last alive, 1-on-3. North establishing what is a solid lead so far on this T side now.
They really are, aren't they? Seemingly having no second thoughts, no problems. They are playing very tight game of CS without any signs of stopping. This is what you would expect out of North. This is, I think, exactly what we had kind of foreseen in a way. You know, North are technically the better team in that essence, but Endpoint, I mean, it's 5-7 only, so we don't need to despair yet. Obviously, there is going to be a way back into this soon enough. Question is, do they have, or will they take that chance once it comes out B? The real with the op, maybe he can make a difference. We've seen that yesterday, quite plenty of moments where the saved rifle just pulled off and burnt a new hole in the ground. I gotta give it to Forza. I didn't expect them to be taking it like that against Copenhagen Flames, but well. The Real, good start. With another B push, the Real will keep this at an advantage and a little bit of damage dealt. Actually, quite a little bit of damage dealt on North. This is potentially a problem.
Good check by Gade. Might just be the heroics they needed to keep themselves in this round here. Crucial tag down low as well. The AWP only just been retrievable. Make it a lot more difficult to now enter this site. Max, however, gets away with one. Thankfully closed out. MSL, great double. Spots out the third and takes it. Triple to close the round. 8 on the board for North, and already the first half in their back pockets. A very solid site hold. Did get a little bit risky around the edges, but MSL doing what he needed to close things out. This allows the save of the AWP. You can see having no money to be able to rebuy it into this one either, so down to just the rifles, which for a player like Crucial, you know, it's manageable, but he would prefer to be on his more comfortable weapon. This is where North might start to take a lead now. Great start from Surreal, though. Gets the early one onto Christu. Tagged down low. The damage is good. Somehow gets out alive there, Max. But a lot of trade-off of the health. Just no refrags for North yet.
Yeah, definitely an interesting amount of openers allowed, and without a refrag for North, they are a little bit stranded. Crucial yet to be checked. Interesting that nobody's giving him a peace of mind, as finally he chimes in as well. Doesn't get a frag necessarily, but scares North into submission. Exactly what Endpoint need to do in this case. If they put a little bit of a scare tactic in front of them, maybe they can control them a little while longer, or at least try to build up this fear and respect kind of model of play. Gate, okay, sprays through that thin wall through yellow. Able to get himself one. That's an excellent return. Money, or excuse me, HP wise, it's also a problem for Endpoint. Big problem in that case.
Massive problem. Robin, seeming like they will already draft the save, unfortunately. There we go. Yeah, they'll carry the weapons over. They'll keep themselves already aligned nicely with the money. They'll be able to get a final round buy, and it will be a little bit scrappy, but saving the 3 weapons here is way more important. But North making 9 rounds on the T side. To say that it was so close at 4 and 5 and 5 and 5, that is where things really took a large turning point for North, getting themselves a solid little start on this T side. If they can guarantee double digits heading into the CT side, that is where Endpoint will face a lot of difficulty. The M4s can come out for the final round, just barely enough. Thomas will have to sacrifice down onto a lesser weapon, UMP in his hands. But either way, 9-5. Final round of the first half. If Endpoint can get away with 6, they'll be okay to move into the second. Double digits is still an issue that could come through, though. And even so, 9-6 is still a very light half for a CT team. Thomas, though, aggro with the UMP. That is what it's best for. Up close and personal, finds the early entry on occasion. At least gives them a fighting chance here in round number 15.
They desperately need to take it as well. 10-5 half would be quite disastrous for Endpoint, and given their past performances on Vertigo especially, you would have thought that, or you would have thunk that, you know, they would be strong enough to take it at least up to 6-7 rounds minimum. But let's see how this works. Let's see how this goes. As Christo be playing a little bit more passively towards the T base. Surreal, though, patiently awaiting. And patience is a virtue. Unfortunately, he will be caught by Gate. Still Robin to reply as Christo gets caught. Playing solo, like I said, leaves him vulnerable. And Gade, he needs to make a decision now. Bomb is yet to be retrieved as far as I can tell. And in the end, it will never be retrieved in the first place. Robin closes it out. 9-6, as I said, it's better. It's definitely, you know, a good sign that they're not going to be giving up that early, but this is still a very, very poor showing out of Endpoint. From what we expected to what we're getting, big difference. First half, gone already.
Yes, North having quite the advantage moving into second half. T-side, very good performance and getting away with 9 rounds against the side like Endpoint, who very regularly punish on this CT side on Vertigo, is a very good number to move into the second half with. You can see that Mighty Max, you know, having a little bit of a quiet game. He is the IGL of the squad though, so you can't take that away from him. He is at least leading the squad, but again, you can even tell kills are, you know, somewhat down on the side of North. You know, Cajun B on only 4, AZ on 6. You know, there's no massive fraggers in terms of differential across the two sides. North just being very tactical with their rounds. Endpoint being tactical with their saves, at least. Wanting to take weapons into the next rounds. But Endpoint, we shall see. T-side, it has to be pristine. North, if they take the pistol round, they're on an uprise to at least a potential 11, 12, and 6, which, with North and their momentum so far that they've gained, might be a bit of a killer for them, but we'll see. Endpoint on this T side. Mighty Max into utility. Same for Robin. They've got a tactical air about them, but look at North. Triple nade stack and a pistol. I like where this is going.
Oh yeah, they might just be reading so well into this that it gives them excellent idea as to what is coming next. AZ, he does get tagged, but the rotation's already close by. 2 players joining the fray. Surreal, though, still finds himself one. Nade preemptively being thrown. Doesn't really change the outcome. Gade is going to be holding this tight corner that is quite pre-fireable, but there's a boost coming on top as Cajun B finds himself one through connector, being able to even the odds. This 4-on-4 retake will not be easy, though. We see Endpoint is going to be battling it down to the last man and down to the last number. Close range. Thomas. Oh, never mind. Doesn't help him. Christo and Cajun B instantaneously shut it out. And it's down to Mighty Max and Robin to make sure that this round does not fail.
All down to Robin now. Diffuse already completed, unfortunately. They'll get away with the kill to finish things off as well. 10-6 North. Very convincing retake as they capture the pistol round. That is 2 out of 2. Vertigo, both of them going in their favor. Getting away with 2 very, very important rounds. Endpoint, however. Endpoint looking to drag themselves back in. They need to start this T side well. Quadruple nade stack up toward the top of ramp. It's a nice idea. This time completely avoiding all damage whatsoever on the side of North. With the eco round, there is going to be a buy in the next at least. They aren't going to be sacrificing any further forces. They won't be infringing on their investments. Ristu does take a P250 dink through the smoke as far as I could tell. But MSL opens up for the first. Cajun B gets away with the second. Kills coming through as quick as that right now. It's a real nice headshot to trade it back. But a 4-on-2 to play. Should be round number 11 for North before Endpoint do bring the big guns out.
Pretty much so, yeah. One thing I'm happy to see is Endpoint not investing every single penny into this one. It does give them perhaps, well, not perhaps, but it definitely gives them the chance to at least keep the overall position of North still at bay, if I can say so. And we gotta keep in mind that North, if they win the next gun round that's going to be coming up, they're putting themselves up to 12, 13 rounds without doubt, and that all of a sudden becomes a very scary precedence being set, as Endpoint might not have enough energy to answer it just yet. Thing is, Endpoint have looked a little bit shaky here. They've had a few moments where they shined brighter than a diamond, but definitely had a few where they were a little bit under the weather by the looks of it. 11-6. Gade will close the gap, and this is the gun round I was speaking about. This is where North will have an opportunity to not only double their current position compared to Endpoint, but also dominantly show why they should be considered as the better team in this series. As this gun round will prove exactly that. Endpoint, let's see what they do.
Yeah, I mean, the one saving grace for Endpoint here right now is that at least North are playing a bit more of a bonus round. They've not invested into the M4s, keeping the FAMASs from the previous one, but again, it is just going to force them to play a little bit more defensive. Easy. Ooh, might just be, I think, just clear of that smoke. The spray will come through, but it is a nice trade at least. Cajun B close on the corner, does get shut down by Robin. With those FAMASs, you cannot afford to peek into the line. Gade, however, good response, but only good for one. 3 on 2 as that B bomb site is lost. Should be enough to win the round already, although got their final 2 players now on upgraded rifles. MSL nearly lines them up.
Ooh.
Blenching moment, still up for debate as they find the first, but Robin able to return it back. 11 and 7, the gun round does go in the favor of Endpoint. Quite the expensive one, but it is a round at least that kicks off.
Well, it's vital they were able to at least grab it, like you said. Does put a little bit of pressure onto Endpoint still with their economy now in the dirt. There's always danger of losing their next one, and, you know, we always know how that usually goes. AZ, look at this aggressiveness from him. He seems to have been read, or at least they seem to have realized this, and he just takes an aggressive stance himself and just tries to be the hero. I am not particularly sold on that. And, well, serves them right for being a bit too, how to say best would be, cocky in this regard. North,
Yeah.
like, you have barely any weapons to fight a fully equipped team. You should be taking every single chance you have in taking advantageous positions, and, well, that by AZ wasn't exactly an advantageous play. He had a good position to work with, but he decided to waste it by going blindly shooting into the smoke. He might have, like, he definitely had seen the shadow and the outline of a player, but you don't know how many players there are. You don't know how many close to that position there are, and you risk it all by trying to get a single frag. I don't think that's really going to work it here.
Especially with the impact that it's had on the round, unfortunately. 5 kept alive for Endpoint. North completely shunted out, a single M4 save to come, but it is round number 8 on the board for Endpoint. 9 should be coming as well here, as they will have to take an eco. This is no wonder that these Vertigo games for North have been going close. Some mistakes that really allow their opponents right back into the game. Bear in mind as well that North got off to a great start with the pistol. They were able to at least uprise into the first 2 rounds, but for the back of this, it's been Endpoint so far that in the rifle rounds have looked the more convincing. Pistols are in order. North have invested somewhat. Both Gade and Cajun B dropping incredibly down in terms of their economy, but thankfully round loss bonus is generating. But Endpoint, they should be making this one a lot closer here, bringing the scoreline to just a 2-round barrier. And on a map like Vertigo, it's going to go close. You can feel with the way that this game is going, most Vertigo games are 16-10 plus either way, but this one, it's got that air about it that there is no decided winner as of yet. AZ on the corner, though. Okay, gets away with 2. Great couple of entries. Thankfully, Crucial finishes him off. Damage done to 2 as well, but round still up for debate with the smokes down here.
Oh, Surreal, that smoke is a little bit wide. Might give a gap, might give a chance here to North. Let's find out if that's the case, though. As it is going to be a 3-on-3. As you said, damage has been dealt. Surreal will find another. And that is vital. MSL, this is the gap. You know, this is the problem. Okay. That is a bit of a saving grace there. The angle could have worked out a lot differently and a lot worse. Gade still gets it. Still pulls it back into a 2-on-2. This is not over yet. Gade! Where is he getting the angle with? I would love to have seen that, but never mind you, never mind me. Thomas is down to a 1-on-1. Thomas, the tank engine. Let's see if you can bust your way through a wall here, and I think certainly the answer might just be yes. MSL cannot clutch it, and Thomas... Whew. That was cutting it very close, Endpoint. I am not exactly sure how the hell Gade gets away with both frags there. But there must have been an angle where the smoke had just a bit of vision through to that corner, and it gave him effectively almost the round.
Yeah, thankfully doesn't come up clutches, but very close to. Endpoint, thankfully, will be able to keep themselves afloat here in this one. Thomas doing what was necessary, but you can see, yeah, North, with the rebuy that they took into the previous round, they've had to go for yet another eco. So Endpoint should be on their way up to round number 10 here. Doubt that this is really too much of a hassle for them to close out this type of round. And sure, North have a little bit of utility. They've got the smokes ready to be deployed if necessary. This should be double digits for the T side. Christo drops the smoke, keeps himself safe. Thomas already good for the peak, though. Guarantees the early frag. Start of the round. The rest of the Endpoint side committing up towards A now. AZ trying to be the smoke criminal yet again. See what he can find. The bomb will not be planted yet. Bit of a fake out. AZ somehow still alive in this corner as well. Finally, Crucial will get the job finished. 5 on 2. That will be the round. 10 on the board for Endpoint. And finally, a buy round coming up for North. The double eco extending the run of rounds just a little bit, but they want to guarantee a good investment. This one could even guarantee another frag or so, but yeah, there we go. Robin cleaning things up. Double digits for Endpoint. It's the next gun round that really decides what happens for North here, though.
Seem to be slacking off a little bit, sleeping with their trousers on. Not looking too sweet. At 11-10, North is definitely having to rethink a few vital choices they've been making. One of them, I think, is definitely the aggression, or therefore lack of aggression, towards A ramp. And we see MSL will be taking a different stance towards B stairway. Looks like North will be going exactly for that. The aggression now towards A ramp. Mighty Max tagged heavily. But Thomas, he's made his way through yellow. Surely they will be aware of that. Surely they're going to be paying attention to this. Well, the answer seems to be nope, not even close. Luckily, Gate is there to respond. And AZ, he was able to somehow find Mighty Max in the commotion. As North succeed in picking up... Ooh! Picking up the advantage. Crucial with a little bit of a miss and hit. But it's MSL. Still trying to control this best he can. Blinded. Molly doesn't work. Lucky him. Doesn't matter though. Surreal comes across with the frag. Oh, Surreal. Whew. Dirty dancing. And we're back to a 2-on-3.
Beautiful nade as well. Tags on to Gade. And second one comes in as well. Gets it finished. Crucial. Spots AZ's head over the top of the smoke. 11-11. Gun round. Again, not working at all for North here. Starting to become very, very difficult now here in this first map. Eco round to be taken yet again. We do remember, of course, the side of North. They've only got a single tactical pause to get themselves back into this game. They expended 3 of them in the first 10 rounds, so they take attack. It has to be dire. It has to be vital for this. And oh, Robin. Good little tap, gets away with 2 of the first kills. The eco so far not being fruitful whatsoever. MSL inside of the smoke, trying to play off of the back of Thomas here. Maybe see if he can find anything for free, but this should be Endpoint. The first time in a long time, establishing a lead so far here on this map. 12-11. North in these gun rounds. It's scary that so far they aren't looking as decisive as they did on the T side. It's Endpoint that are really taking over, and it's North now that look like they are beginning to slack. Gate on this corner does get away with a freebie. This corner very rarely checked these days now that the site has been changed. But at least could be an AK saved into the next round. A 4-on-2 though. Endpoint should be on their way to a lead.
Well, that is certainly going to be the case, or at least looks to be the case. A little bit of a distinct lead to be formed, as well as compared to the fact this was 11-6, folks. At one point in time, it was 11-6. So that in itself should be scary enough for anybody on the side of North to kind of think about. You know, given that it was such a distinct advantage they had pulled up. Now having to work against a deadlier opponent that they've ever met in this first map. Mighty Max and Thomas survive, sure. A little bit of money lost here and there, but they don't care. Endpoint 12-11, North. They better start working this one out. There's a lot of leaks that they have to fix, and MSL on the op hasn't really been as proactive, one could say. Just holding B is not gonna cut it. You need to be a bit more dynamic, and well, he's gonna be trying to hold middle itself now. Supported by Cajun B.
Should be good enough, and I say should, but crucial. Step ahead of the game. MSL does fire the shot, but just does not connect this time. Robin gets away with the second onto AZ. This is starting to look dire right now for North. Cajun B rotating over will provide the extra support, but crucial, he's got the angle. As soon as Cajun B goes for the peek, has his rifle out, might be in with a chance. Christu, though, gets away with a double. Drops the bomb inside of mid. They do spot out Cajun B, and, well, there we go. Isolates him on the back of the bomb site. 13-11. And Endpoint, they are really starting to punish. North's mistakes have been too paramount. They've let Endpoint right back into this game, and again, the money's slacking. It's going to have to be another eco, and Endpoint on their way very quickly to map point. And there's the timeout, the final one expended. I said it had to be a vital one, and it definitely, at this point, it most certainly is.
If nothing else, it feels like it. And yeah, this has been a bit of a mishap by North. They had a distinct advantage brewing, but they allowed themselves to be a bit too, again, cocky, I guess is the word we could use. And they paid a high price for it. Let's see if they can perhaps remedy that and maybe make the, well, try to change the outcome, change the current heading they're going towards. We do see that Gade with the M4A4 can drop another way if they decide that, you know, maybe that's something they want to do, but it's going to limit them so much that it would be a foolish endeavor to even attempt something like that. Gade, pop flashes inside mid. I love it. This will allow perhaps for a bit more control to be exerted. Robin blinded fully and will be dropped quickly as Cajun B and Gade and the rest of the team supports that push. Gade finds the second, the M4 finally coming together, but Crucial is like, hello, pulls out the P250 and says goodbye, good night, as B site is under attack.
We're going to try and worm his way into this B site. Support will be coming in slowly but surely. Doesn't matter though, because Crucial already clearing out the angle. Bomb will be planted. SL burning in the fire, so maybe sound cue potentially given away, but I think he might have just been clear. The angle held by Thomas, though, already good for one. Cajun B, beautiful response. Oof, tag comes in, but not enough to definitively get the kill itself. Crucial. Has to be careful. Dips and dives around the corner, though. Gets a 4K from the round itself. Expensive, but it's a victory for Endpoint. They've got cash behind them. It was North that had to convert that round, but unfortunately, last buy round potentially. They lose this and Endpoint, they're on map point already.
I loved how Crucial played this. Just so sexy to watch him move around the corner here. It's very beautiful, very clean almost. And well, we are gonna have, as you said, the series map point coming up if North do not do something about this. Cajun B refrags the loss of MSL. That's the op down though, and that's a problem. That's a big problem because North so far, every time MSL got caught, they would be left wide open and wounded almost. The real. That looked like the nade could be going direct for his face. Lucky that that's not the case. There's Endpoint. Seem to be committing towards B in the end though. At least the way they've been setting this up. It almost certainly feels like it's a B hit, excuse me. North. The response, though, a little bit wonky. Then again, Endpoint pushed it a little bit wonkily as well.
He does finish the job, but a bit more of an open round here. Smoke down. Max not yet aware of the player on the back of the site. Easy. It's the angle. There it is. Thomas, good return, though. Keeping this one open for business. 40 seconds on the clock. Still going to have this side ready and raring to take over on this B-bomb site. Crucial looking. See what he can find. Crossover is good though. Christu holding it. That should be the round itself confirmed, although it is Crucial we're on about here. AWP prowess good enough. He's got 3 bullets in the chamber. 15 seconds on the clock. It is doable. We'll go for the plant. Commits to it as well. Molotov keeps them behind the boxes already. The peek out from Crucial. Spots the second. There it is. With this man, we know what he can do, and he comes up big again. Map point for Endpoint.
What a clutch moment here by Crucial. A 1-on-2 that he's able to pull back from the clutches of doom almost. And, well, that is what you came out to see, boys, and that's what you're getting. Endpoint, as you said, map point. Who would have thought North is struggling quite a little bit here? They have yet to pick up a single round after the pistol, and that is definitely cause for concern. Thomas, double, and I mean, sure, MSL gets the return, although let's be openly fair here for a second. That is not exactly the best amount of refrags coming through. Cajun B is about to walk into the crosses of Robin. Of course he is, and well, we all know how this goes now. 4v2, let's see MSL and Gade. Not like they can't pull it back, but this is going to be extremely difficult, to say the least.
Isolated on the back of the bomb site. Surreal tries to commit through the flashbang. This time doesn't pay dividends. Still down to MSL, but Robin gets things done, closes out the map, and Endpoint. Third time's the charm. The third time that they play Vertigo against North, they find a victory. 16-11, map 1. Their own map pick goes in their favor.
Yes, it does. And on top of that, moving on to Overpass next. As we said, it's not exactly the best of maps for Endpoint, but it's not the worst either. They've had quite a few moments where they've already played on it. In any case, let us jump into a short break, folks, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes' time as we get ready for second one.
and gentlemen, welcome back into map number 2. It is going to be Endpoint versus North. It is North's map pick to come here on Overpass after losing to Vertigo 16-11. North wanting to keep themselves now in the series. Overpass is necessary for that, but it is North's map pick, and we know that Endpoint, it's a bit more of a weaker map for them.
Oh, it definitely is perhaps a little bit of a black sheep in the family, but it's not going to be like they would. It's not like they're completely and utterly foolish on it. They certainly have still played quite a few many officials on the map itself, and statistically, you know, they're looking decent as it is. But as you said, North, they themselves might be a little bit more lackluster than anything else. But again, with the 1-0 in favor of Endpoint, with Vertigo going as it did, and how lacking North felt on that second half, after winning the second pistol and the second, well, the anti-eco round, they seem to have kind of let themselves go a little bit. And I should mention, they won both pistols. They won both. Fairly simple. And still it wasn't enough for them. So at that point, you know, that's as good of a beginning you'll have for a map in any scenario, right? Win both pistols gives you the chance to begin well on both halves. Win the half, what it was, 9-6, I believe. Yeah, 9-6. It's really, you know, it looked splendid. It looked amazing from North. Last, though, wasn't meant to be. And let's find out if, again, Endpoint can have some brutal performances, just like Crucial had in that last few rounds of Vertigo in the second half, where he dismantled single-handedly North and dealt them the ultimate blow. Pistol is live.
And this is where we can see Endpoint. You know, Overpass is actually one of the scarier maps for North in terms of picking it in this series. You know, statistically, it's even a lesser win percentage for them here, and with how good Endpoint were, this is where they might start to exploit this situation, perhaps. Already Surreal getting the early one on the board. Cajun B, thankfully good for a trade, will make it back into their favor, just barely. Surreal, though, has to be careful. Crucial low as well. Surreal still gets out with the refrag. His damage now being done, but as that smoke will go down, Gade tagged in the process, smacks away with one. Crucial trades, but same for AZ. Damage done, but Crucial 2K to close the pistol. Endpoint, they're off to a great start.
They really are. Picking up the first round always helps out initially with a little bit of a mental boost, and given that they just secured their own map pick, and given that they did play a part overall, a pretty good one, it gives them this monumental bonus, one could say, as momentum is going to be gathering once again. It's up to North to make sure it doesn't get too critical, too problematic, as we do see Endpoint looking for the B execution, and not even a full execution, rather just pressuring the points, trying to see where they can go. AZ, okay, that is a little bit better. Getting a single frag, especially against an AK, getting away without any sort of loss. Really perfect right now. North, are they going to pull a fast one here? I think that's definitely possible, given how problematic right now Endpoint seem to be in their current endeavors.
There we go.
Yeah, okay. I'm a little bit flabbergasted. I mean, sure, Endpoint, I understand your reasoning to be a bit more open and spacious, but you split up when it was the least opportune of times. Weird decision, really weird decision.
Yeah, not good at all on the side of Endpoint. Losing that sort of round does invite North very early into the game itself. Endpoint have gone for the force, as to be expected. Not wanting to make any sort of rash decisions in eco when they can get the buy. North might just be the perfect start that they needed on this map. You look at the results that they've had, and considering the fact that back in what would have been week 1 or so of Home Sweet Home, they lost the Yapoleno. So, you know, 16-9 is a big loss for this sort of side to take. They lost to FaZe, but have beat Movistar Riders this month at least. And are looking to add Endpoint to that sort of tally. But 60% win rate across, I believe, 15 maps for Endpoint as well is fairly decent. They have beaten, again, some solid sides, Sprout being one of them. Skade being another. Skade actually 3 times played and 2 times beaten. 16-13 lost closely, but either way, you know, Endpoint, they are still very good on this map and can still get victories. So it is down to North, and it seems like so far they've got at least a solid beginning. Plenty of damage done to this T side to start. MSL gets away with the first onto Robin. That should be how the majority of this round does go. A couple tags here and there, but I doubt that North will be losing more than 1 or 2 players. Could be 3-1 to start this CT side. There's the lineup. Christu getting away with a lovely set of kills in that MAC-10. Plentiful money injection for his bank account as well. But an eco round to come. North should be up to that 3rd round coming here.
Yes, they should. Just like we started in Vertigo. Seems like we'll be having a repeat of that successful beginning once more. Certainly serves them quite well and gives them, I guess, the boost they need, or at least the mental fortitude they need. Classic deep Molotov, as Endpoint will be locked in place. Molly is actually a little bit shallow by the looks of it, allowing the transition of the players to playground without any obstruction. Shame to see that, otherwise North would have had already control of the round itself, as they would have pushed deep towards Fountain and such. But it looks like it's going to be an A play through short. Again, Endpoint going to go down the same line. It makes sense, of course. They just want to secure either a quick ending or maybe get a chance to get a frag or 2 and plant the bomb whilst doing so. Not going to happen, though. As you said, AZ, you can lock it in place. Now, we are going to be having a very clean start somewhat for North. Something that we did expect already on Vertigo. We got to see it. And here on Overpass even more so. Endpoint, though, full investment.
Been having some better rifles than what North have. MP9 and MAC-10 still in the field for the CT side. Christu and AZ stacking up money incredibly. But Endpoint, you can see their buy round here. It isn't as plentiful as they would have liked. Look at this, Thomas. Solo lurker play down toward this B bomb site. Something that Gade does seem mightily aware of. But it all depends on the timing that he gets, as Gade is holding quite convincingly. He rotates all the way over, but Gade, there's the first. Already opens up onto Thomas, gets them a great start. The CT side for the gun round especially. Readjusts his position. As far as I could tell, was not spotted by anybody down Monster, but that flashbang should do the trick. Only good for 1 though. AZ somehow still alive. Finally closed out by Robin, though. Back to a 3-on-3. The MAC-10 going to be a bit more of a hindrance than North might have imagined. It is going to be more reliant on MSL and Cajun B from this type of position. All depends if Christu can get up close and personal. Bomb will be faked out. Christu goes for the commitment. Molotov this time doesn't do the trick, though. Head was spotted. Surreal takes 1. Crucial with a second. Much better this time. Cajun B not given the chance. A great round from Endpoint.
What a great performance indeed. Coming in as clear as day, not really giving a damn what they might be facing as long as they're facing it together. And that tells you the story of Endpoint. Working as a unit, working as a team is what they're all about. And certainly right now, that's the only way to go about doing business. Surreal takes a little bit of burn damage. We do see that again. Bit of a missed Molotov from the North towards the quick push of the T side onto that entry of first tunnels. You have connector control being established by North, though. They seem to be taking a bit of a different stance. MSL double. As solo peaks will be coming for Endpoint, and they'll be punished equally so. Could be mentioning that Endpoint's goal here was initially to take control of Party and, of course, towards Toilets. Eventually taking Connector whilst doing so as well, but being blocked out of position by smokes and utilities. forces them into a defensive stance. Now, MSL might have been fragged. It's still a 4-on-3. Not an easy position to be in for Endpoint. Let's see what their decision here will be. How do they go about playing this round?
40 on the clock. Endpoint looking to try and move through connector. They do have a decision to make as to where they want to take this round, though. Christy already prepared for the top connector push. There we go. Gets away with the kill onto Surreal. Levels off the frag as Thomas does find the trade, but advantage still with North for now. The rotate over toward this A site quick enough as well. With time lacking, they've got to be able to commit to this site. Bomb is imminent. Easy able to at least dodge the bullets. Not for long, though. Trading it back, but down to Cajun B. Damage done. North will find the round. Retake. Not needing to be relied upon. They'll get out with the round before the bomb even goes down. So money lacking for Endpoint. It will be an eco round to come. A chance for North to extend the lead, but great play from MSL. Holding connector with an AWP. Always a difficult task, but handled very nicely. And gives North that round on the CT side to keep them stable. They have that little bit of extra cash in the bank now and an eco to face. They should be at least stabilizing.
They should. Something that they had issues with on Vertigo. Certainly they were lacking a lot of economy once the ball dropped. They were continuously forced to play pistols and Kevlar to a certain degree. And let's see if they can keep the majority of the players alive to get a little bit of an extra bonus at the end of the day. And to be happy with the overall outcome potentially. Endpoint, on the other hand, they are on the T side. It's only been 7 rounds, well 6 total, but this is the 7th. And it's not exactly like there is cause for concern yet. We should say that as well as you might have seen, it was the second half that really solidified Endpoint as the dominant force. Perhaps we'll be in for another treat like that here, but either way, full buy, crucial on the op. This is one of the first actual proper attempts that we'll be seeing out of Endpoint, seeing where it leads them to.
Yeah, their first big buy round coming up here. North will have MSL back on that AWP, knowing that he can be the deadly challenge this round. Christu, already the early entry onto Thomas. Reposition is good. Surreal this time able to react. Spots the second. Cajun with his back turned. That is a bit of a headache. Thankfully, only down to a 3-on-3. Easy. Quick off the mark with the rotate. Goes for the flashbang play. Robin keeps safe for now. Catches him with a nade in hand. Second tag to come from MSL finishes the job. All left down to Crucial. He's already won a 1-on-2 already in this series. He is looking for his second one. Close out round number 3, although North just looking this time a lot more stable. The CT side to a much better start here if they can keep this one alive as well. Endpoint economically broken, it gets a whole lot easier. Crucial though, we know what he can do. Tries to play for the angle, but MSL already had the info from his teammate. No reason for Gade to peek. 6-2. Endpoint broken. Eco to come. 7 should be on its way. Even with Surreal's heroics there, with Cajun turning his back, which should have been a definitive moment. Thankfully are able to scramble back a victory. It does break them. I thought it was a full force coming through there. Thankfully, they understand the roundless bonus will be the next round with them. But North, this is a much better CT side performance compared to what we saw on Vertigo.
Really is, isn't it? An improvement for certain, and well, it might not be the end of the line here for them yet if they're able to keep it up like this. As we do see, it is going to be a bit of a quick trade up on towards short A, as Cajun B and Christo line up a few shots, and Cajun B will be able to significantly compare the proceedings of Endpoint and their proverbial buy round. Well, eco round, effectively. 7-2. Quite the advantage for North being built, as one would expect. Even in the beginning of Vertigo, we had thought that that would be the case. But Endpoint, they're not done yet. They have themselves proper buy to work with. All 5 converging on towards monsters. Seems like there is a plan in mind. Go for this. The take. North not really reading too deep into this. They have 3 still on towards the A site itself. So if this execute finds 1 or 2 frags before it actually comes to be a rotation to support AZ. AZ! Oh, man. Well,
Wow.
the rotation will be there in time with what AZ just pulled out.
Having an incredible game so far. 13 kills on the board for him. This is a lightning performance. Oh, Robin. Didn't get the timing in his favor. Christu taking him out inside of lower water. Isolates Crucial now on short. They have a smoke ready for it. They do feel that it is necessary. I believe they have just spotted out the final player as well here. Smoke down. Hughes will come through. 8-2. North looking as convincing as ever here. This is the first half already in their back pocket. Thankfully, round loss bonus is good enough with the bomb plant combined to keep Endpoint purchasing into the next round. But AZ, the triple from him and the extra damage done as well was so worth it in this position. Crucial does get his AWP back. But either way, this is North looking very convincing so far, on their way fast-tracking to double digits so far, with Endpoint really not showing us enough to slow them down as of yet. MSL out towards long, gets the first kill, falls back. This is a very, very nice North CT side. They know exactly every moving part of this team at the moment, and it seems like it's just working out way better than the CT side of Vertigo, which for all intents and purposes combusted in the final 5 rounds.
Really did, didn't it? It was just a hectic, chaotical performance in the final few, but the real. I find the refrag at least. Good pop flash. Doesn't really work out though. The real not blinded. Not sure where the flash was flying to, but it was either not angled correctly or Surreal turned around in the nick of time. AZ, the timing of his own could not be better though. Picking up Crucial, and the lineup for Christo comes up as well. As all of a sudden Thomas finds himself in a 1-on-2. 43 seconds. The flank already being set. Of course he has no chance to win it. And Gade and Christo have themselves enough of an ample opportunity to lock it without casualties. 9-2. My god, this is definitely a definitive performance out of North. And as we both said, we expected this to come out on Vertigo. It did. First half for certain was very much theirs for the taking. But either way, Endpoint, gonna be attempting the 4-man boost or the 3-man boost. Like it. Let's see if they can get an entry with it.
Close. No overextension from out of heaven though. Ooh, maybe. Nope. Maybe not. There we go. Boost disassembled. Flat packed as quickly as IKEA furniture.
Yeah.
Endpoint gonna be heading down to the B site. Look at this though. AZ and Gade just sat with an absolute turret down towards short. The round is already gone. Robin just wondering what the hell just happened to the rest of his team. And there we go. 10 on the board. North, they really mean business now. They're here to stay in this series. 10 rounds already secured. Rebuy to come, and finally, it's taken them long enough, but a tactical pause to be called for Endpoint.
This is definitely starting to get a little bit out of hand. Endpoint, they feel very different to that tattoo post to Vertigo, and winning the pistol, I was certain they would be able to bring out a bit of a better show. This is the exact opposite. This is the worst thing we could have seen out of them, and Well, the timeout hopefully is going to give them a bit of clairvoyance, maybe give them a bit of a clear mind and see what their next goal should be, what their next approach should look like. Interestingly enough, no op for Endpoint. Not that, you know, they necessarily need it, but you do know MSL is on an AWP of his own, and you want to be as careful as you can when you're playing against him. A little bit of early commotion. You could see North attempting to take control of party and hopefully get an entry through that very pesky jump up you can do on the railing. Not gonna be the case though, and ooh, Christo spots Thomas in water. Does even tag onto Robin and connect here. What a coincidence. Cajun B, pop flash by MSL supports it. Gets away with a free frag. Crucial is out. That's a great start. Endpoint again being dismantled before they even begin, although Surreal will have something to say about that yet.
They might have just spotted MSL on the boost up as well. Thomas burning in the Molotov. Down on that short position, drop down to 29 health. Has to be incredibly careful with the way that he is on his road back to that B site now. The rest of the team will join them. They've got the 2-man site set up here for North. Decent utility. Gade gets away with the first, though. Slips into the smoke. That's exactly the right move to make. AZ keeps himself safe. Repositions. Gets away with a second frag. Christu comes in for the support. Robin now isolated. And only gets away with one. 11-2. North. They are serving up cold, hard revenge here on the second map. Again, a rebuy to come from Endpoint. Hero AK for Surreal. The rest most likely onto maybe an eco, but no, another investment. Either way, this first half is looking very, very barren for Endpoint. North really... They've kicked it into overdrive for the second map, and they are ready to go and face on Dust 2 here already.
High gear by North, and they've had enough of the jokes. I don't know, it's getting a little bit out of hand. Endpoint, I'm not sure what they... Not sure what they really are aiming to achieve, but thankfully, again, solo plays will not be punished as quickly as they were in the past. Still, though, it is crucial that keeps on running through Banana. See, this is the weird part for me. They've tried this default, or at least they've tried the default approach continuously, hoping to get map control, hoping to get a little bit of damage and a little bit of overall, perhaps, fear in the mind of North. But they've only really damaged themselves, as we can see again. It's going to be a B attempt, valiant as it is, as effortless as it might seem to begin with. They don't do anything. They get absolutely destroyed, and I am not particularly sure how Endpoint can even change the outcome of this first half anymore. 13-2 seems like it's set in stone already with the performance that North is pulling up. Endpoint do have no chance, or at least stand no chance compared to what they had to offer, and well, let's find out for ourselves, shall we? It's going to be a B rush through short, through monster by the looks of that.
Yeah, this is statistically the third best map for Endpoint. And North, you know, it's one that they barely even play, but are handing them such an easy victory. I mean, look at this. It's no competition. 13-2. Wow, easy. He was quiet in the first map. I don't know what he did between then and the second. Went for an absolute rapid run round the block, potentially got the blood flowing, but he is 23 frags at the end of a half. And look at players like Thomas. He's the fragger of this side, or one of, and he's down on 2-15 with 40 ADR. Like, 154 ADR from AZ, combined with 116 utility damage and a KD of 3.28. He is on a storm right now in North. Speaking of storming, they're heading straight into a storm for a third map, it seems.
Yeah, they want to go on Dust ASAP and close it out ASAP. I mean, this is just an unexpected turn Endpoint, if somehow they can make this even a closer loss. And what I mean by that, if somehow they can make this, let's say, if they do lose 16-10, you know, then I'd say, okay, kudos to you guys. You've at least been able to pick up 8 more rounds, which didn't look like that's going to ever be happening at all. But let's find out for ourselves, shall we? The second pistol is live, as we do have Endpoint as the CTs this time looking to defend their honor and their map pick. The worst part of it being the fact that they're down 11 rounds. It's scary, to say the least.
The round is vital. The real. Well, already pincered. Already dead. Rotate will be made. Max already being spotted on his entrance toward Optimus Prime, though. Gade will put the pressure on. It's go, go, go time from North. Straight aggression, straight brute force, and it seems like Pistol is already theirs. Robin, however, good return. AZ caught off guard, but still gets away with the frag, looking for more as well. And they spot both of the players in bank, so they can just sit back now. This is 14-2, most likely. This is map number 2. Well, pretty much already gone.
It looks like it's pretty much gone, yeah. 14-2 is a very desolate result to go up against an Endpoint. Losing this second pistol marks it to be 1 for 4, basically, for Endpoint. Only winning the first one here on Overpass. It's not looking sweet, is all I'm gonna say. Force Buy, of course, comes out. No doubt, no surprise, I think, to anybody, really. A double scout. Good nade. Christo and AZ tagged quite heavily compared to what they have to go up against. This is actually really decent, and AZ gets tagged even lower. Not very careful from his part to make sure it doesn't get punished for that mistake. And short push coming through. MSL. They're gonna pull back. They realize they might be in over their heads. They don't want to risk losing against pistols. They know how easy this round could be or can be, if only they put their minds to it. And we do see right now that might have a mind to go back towards A itself. There's one scout there already. Make their life a living hell. As Crucial has the second as well. This could actually work out. The double scout setup might not seem as good in theory, but in practice it just might. And let's find out if that's the case. Robin is out. The early start is good one. Unfortunately, AZ will immediately replenish. Crucial keeps it still open.
A massive wrist swinging into the
Oh,
scout.
yeah.
Crucial.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, they close down the scouts. The flank already set down to a 2-on-2. They've got time at least. Not much of it, but enough so they can get the plant down. Although, Gade dealing with the angle nicely. Surreal already shut down. They do manage to handle the round. It was a very close one. The scouts making it incredibly risky around the edges, but 15-2, map point and Dust 2 on its way most likely. Look at the kills on the side of Endpoint. 2 on Thomas, 3 on Max. North have flattened them in this second map.
It's worse than a pancake. And, well, hopefully it's going to get a little bit better, because Endpoint, they've got another map they'll have to play. And if they'll carry this kind of mentality, this kind of shallow momentum forward, it's not going to bring out anything good moving even into the third one. Robin, good amount of tags, though. I got to give it to him. 2 tags. And, of course, getting away with his life is definitely best possible outcome that he could have had in that case. We do have Endpoint not particularly being prepared for a B excursion, but see if Surreal will have to say something about that. Spots the foot of one. Will be in a bit of a dangerous spot. There comes the counter smoke. By the looks of it, might work. Mighty Max, the nades. Mighty Max!
Oh.
Through the smoke they go, and they'll be punished for it, as they should. Although North and MSL still keep the numbers tied, or at least as even as they can under the circumstances. A 3-on-3 here, a 3-on-2, excuse me. It's not easy to bear, not easy to check, but Gade, he will be able to get one more, and he knows where the last one is hiding. This is it, a 1-on-2. Robin, he's got the USPS in his hands, and a chance to still buy Endpoint one more round.
Oh, gets
Not
away
gonna
with
happen.
one, but not going to make a difference. 16-2 North. Well, they very quickly wrap up overpass. Their map pick goes maybe as expected. They get a win, but not that dominant. Should have been expected. But either way, it is down to Dust 2. Not too much to break down from that map. It felt like a whitewash for Endpoint, unfortunately. 2 kills on Thomas, or 3, or whatever. Either way, underperformance. We'll head into a short break, though. It is Dust 2, the third and final map of this series. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Third and final map getting underway. It is North versus Endpoint. Dust 2 as Overpass. We breezed through that map. It was so quick getting that second map done. It is down to Dust 2 here.
Yes, it is. It is going to be a little bit of a fun series for us on this third and final one. We've had Vertigo that went virtually as one could, I guess, predict, as expected in a certain way. I didn't think Endpoint would be having that quick of a victory, but then again, you know, they were able to secure it even without a single pistol of one. Then on Overpass, I had thought that sure, North can still win. Of course, it would be foolish to think otherwise. It's just the way they won, the way they went about it is something else entirely, and it definitely came as a big surprise, I think, to everybody and everyone. And it should remain a little bit of a mystery because I'm not really sure what Endpoint or what really took them down as much as they were, but it looked poor. It looked very bad. And well, the knife goes to Endpoint, at least here on the third and final map of this best of 3 series.
Yeah, they at least get to decide the half they should start on. Interestingly, we've seen teams on Dust 2 pick both CT and T to start. But I think only XCOM Ago have been ballsy enough to take T side, I believe. Endpoint not going to be straying into similar pastures, though. CT to begin. We shall see, though. North, here we go. They will be finding themselves that pistol, or looking to find the pistol on the T side to start. With the way that Overpass was so wrapped up by North very quickly, if the same starts to happen here, then I think we know where this third map is going. But a great start so far. Thomas able to find the early entry on to the A-long position. MSL taken out. 4 players committing, or at least committed down long as well. So the stack does seem pretty established already, but nice entry by Endpoint. Gives them now that breathing room to adjust correctly in this pistol. North have to slow down. Seems like they are going to go for a 2-on-2 short split. So it is going to be the A site, but Endpoint do seem prepared for this.
They really do, and well, it is going to be a short push coming through Endpoint. They have the reaction, they have the kills as well. Thomas, the double, the flank through short, clears it completely. And now down to Gate, it falls without Kevlar, without hope. He will fight, but he will not prevail. It is 1-0 as Endpoint take their first pistol on Dust. Well, the first pistol on Dust. This would mark it into their second overall. Definitely a few shaky shows, a few shaky hands, but overall, this is a start that we had seen on Overpass, and let's hope the end outcome will be a little bit different to that of Overpass. Otherwise, we'll have an even faster game on our hands. In any case, full eco from North. I respect that. It is Dust 2 we're talking about here, a map that is predominantly aim-based. Of course, there's a certain element of tactics and such to it, but for the most part, you usually stick to strong aim, and you would be pretty well off for the majority of anything else. 2-0, as expected. Now the real test begins.
North will be getting those rifles bought up here. Endpoint, thankfully, able to guarantee a clean exit to that round as well. Keeping their MP9s and the Scout in play, though, like North did on the third round of Overpass, or fourth round it might have been even. But they are going for the bonus round nevertheless. MP9s are always an interesting factor, especially with how up close they play. Some of the angles on Dust 2 definitely not preferable, but assisted by playing up close and personal. North, though, down towards mid they go. Bit of a fairly clean entrance. Surreal will get himself on to that top balcony position, though. Gade not checking the corner. Surreal gets out with 2. Already mid-control established, but the B bomb site lost already. Robin can't finish the frag. The nades should do the job, though. Oh, just barely. AZ did jump at the right time, but gets away with the kill nevertheless. Down to a 3-on-2. This retake, definitely possible. They've got the man advantage. B site is difficult, but with the way they can pincer, they should be able to make this one their own.
That's what I'm feeling. Cajun B knows that tunnels will be occupied, and most likely there'll be somebody coming out to Fly. And well, Robin comes out with Fly as he will find himself one. It is Christo that holds the line, and the bomb is already ticked away far too deeply. Thomas, even if he had gotten the frag within the first few seconds of that engagement, in the end, time would still not be on his side. 2-1 as North take the gun round, and the worst part for Endpoint is, of course, that their money is not exactly going to be very supportive. Well, luckily they have enough for a rebuy, but that's about it, I believe. Yeah, a rebuy will be exactly what they'll be going for, but already look at the amount of cash as well as what weapons they currently have. MP9s, a FAMAS, a UMP. Not pretty, and it's not nice, but it's going to have to do. Crucial on the AWP, and the first time out here for North.
Taking one quite early, yeah. First round that they win. Reverting into a tactical timeout afterwards, as well as always showing signs of composure, knowing that they do understand what is necessary.
Was it Nordawind that took pauses when they won rounds?
I believe so, yeah. On Inferno, I believe.
Yeah, it might have been. Against Complexity was probably Mirage or Nuke. But last week against AGF, I think they were the ones that took the 3 pauses against AGF on Inferno. Yeah. But generally speaking, like it's a rare occasion to see a team win a round and then take a pause straight after. It does show to tell that, you know, they're not happy with the way they won, or at least they're not happy with how it went down and how close it came to be, I think. Although it could just be, you know, the regular old pause to kind of try and calm the emotions, make sure the players are all up to date into what's going to be happening within the round itself. Speaking of which, Crucial's already out, so, you know, there's that. MSL with a great opener. And we have Endpoint looking to take short control.
With economy being on the back end here, the UMP serving them nicely at least. MSL does manage to return a kill of his own. Surreal on the sniper though. Does manage to catch out Christu. Rotate to come toward the B bomb site. Seeming like it is somewhat red, but MSL, right place, right time. Ooh, Thomas. Be very, very careful, and thankfully is, but MSL far too quick. Realizing now that the A side will be clear, the rotate to come, Max left isolated, and they don't even need to take the site. Round already gone, second on the board for North. Unfortunately, Endpoint on that CT side back into the economic struggle. Eco round to come. They've got 2,400 loss bonus, so it will preserve enough economy for the buy in the next. It's not going to be an expanded buy, though, down to M4s and Kevlar as a limit, really. Bit of utility here and there, but it should be North that will establish a 3-2 lead. T-side looking active yet again. MSL popping off already on this AWP, but it's North again that do look quite menacing here on this T side. They are turning things back in their favor. Mid take to come. Molotov a little bit inaccurate. Does burn out at the feet of Gade. Fortunately, damage to be inflicted. But it is an eco round. Nothing to really worry about. Endpoint will stack mid, but as soon as North realize this, they'll be up to the sights and onto the plant already securing the round. It's just about a matter of time for North to realize this. And with Crucial pushing like this, that should now give the game away that they will be hunting for the kills. AZ pretty much locks out the info. Should be now 3-2. 5-3. Site will be taken. There we go. 3 on the board for North.
Well, definitely comes as a bit of a hanging light. Endpoint, you know, the stack on mid is not always optimal. North play it correctly, though. They realize what they're up against, as you said, and they move in together. They don't allow any sort of separation to potentially cause them untimely deaths or otherwise complications in general. Because Mighty Max will be caught in the end, and a clean round for North. 3-2. Said it well already. Money for Endpoint will be lacking. They'll have barely enough to scrape up somewhat of a buy. I love the fact Thomas is playing with the M4A1S. Just lovely to see it. It's such a rare occasion these days. It's really become a rarity to have it. I'm not sure why people still dislike it as much. It's actually like I'll defend this weapon to the end of times. I don't even care. Like, it's a great weapon. End of story. And if you're precise with your aim, it's honestly much better than the M4A4. But then again, you know, we know why people like the M4A4. Faster rate of fire, quicker to or easier to shut down rushes with, as well as just having that 30 bullets magazine helps you a tiny bit more. But, well, I mean, we can go into depth, I guess, there, you know, the barrel length being lower, being smaller, so you can hide behind corners more effectively and all that. There's definitely reasoning behind that as well, if you think about it, but yeah. North, taking it slow. Short control looking like that's going to be something they're looking for. Goose going to be mollied. Let's find out if there's a way into this round for them. As they do fake out a short play, they're moving back through mid itself. They're going to be executing the B site itself. Mighty Max in tunnels. Ooh, going to be tagged heavily down to 35. This is not looking sweet, although Crystal will be caught. That's perfect. AZ, the nice surreal on middle, though.
Still, Mighty Max FAMAS does work out, but not this time. Cajun B trapping Robin in the corner, pins it in by AZ. Crucial on the flank, though. This is doable for Cajun B. Beautiful read. Thomas left isolated. Down into the 1-on-3, and this is North. Again, just locking out the B bomb site, but breaking the economy of Endpoint in the process. DT side off to a rough start yet again. Crucial even yet off the mark on this fragging leaderboard. This is perfect for North. This is exactly what they want. If they can do the majority, the damage here in the T side. Good little exits by Thomas. Gets away with a good couple and will try and scramble the AWP, which should be able to make it out of the round with Cajun B. There we go. They do lose all their weapons, but they've got plenty of cash in the bank. Endpoint just narrowly able to scramble away with the AWP. But an eco round to come. 5-2 looking likely in North, like it was on Overpass. Keeping Endpoint at that second mark yet. Not able to elevate, not able to get a further round off of the back of this. For North, especially being on a T side where they can micromanage the CT economy, that's absolutely perfect for them.
Really is, and Gade, he's gonna push on forward, keep ties very close, and oh, Mighty Max. Nice shot. Rare to see a Deagle effectively take somebody down that easily, that quick, well, that effectively, that quickly, but Cajun B and Christo, I'll make sure this round does not spin out of control. Above all else, I want to make sure they keep those weapons alive. And there's an op in pit patiently waiting. Of course, that would be our dear friend Crucial here. Vital that they keep the op alive, though, mind you. Will give them quite a little bit of an extra bonus moving forward. And if luck will have it, Endpoint might just be able to pull off some sort of a magical return here. 5-2. It's starting to build up into another dominant first half for North. Wouldn't be the first time, but it will be the last if they happen to allow it again.
This is where North really can start to hit home in these rounds now. Robin. Ooh, timing just works out. Thomas and Surreal get away with kills, Crucial. Adding a third to the mix. Gade will get a nice response at least. Keep the side somewhat alive here, but it seems like Endpoint should be able to get away with a round off of the back of this one. Molotov. There we go. Does enough damage. Finishes the job for them. 5-3. Endpoint. Double AWP established. Seemed to work in the previous round. They will, of course, keep it up. North on the other side, though. Plenty of economy for the rebuy. SL will give will receive that AWP. Nobody to cross as of yet, though. No info to be gathered by him, although there's the peek by the sniper down towards middle. North, though. They can try and deplete the economy here of Endpoint, get this round on their belt. Max going very aggressively. To be careful with the overextension. Cajun B holding an angle good enough. The flashbang will keep him fully blind, though. Max, great entry. Gets out of it alive, gets a freebie, essentially. No one really even there to trade the offset of the damage. That gives Endpoint a nice little run into this round, as North will now have to commit to the setup and man disadvantage. That should perfectly line up with Endpoint. They've got long and short both covered. North, they'll need a perfect execution if they want to get onto this site, especially with Crucial watching this angle like a hawk.
Going to be hard to break, but it's not impossible. Let's see if that works out. Pop flash comes through. Crucial forced out of position. The on-site already overtaken. And control being lost, as Endpoint will now have to play this retake from CT and long. Not the worst position to be in, though. Most certainly coming in from CT gives them that extra element that they always require. And well, it's a 5-on-4, mind you, with gate being low. There's a good chance this could go quite well for them. Cristo and AZ open it up. It's a 3-on-3. Make it a 2-on-3. Gate still keeping the numbers low. The lineup is not enough, but MSL is hiding in Gandalf, and I'm fairly certain Thomas knows about him. Yes, he does. Needs to take the fight, but MSL, quicker than lightning, flicks out of the corner and secures the round itself. A hefty loss when it comes to the economy of North, but they get it. That is what matters. And Endpoint, this is gonna hurt moving forward. Their economy is starting to dwindle, and not just economy, but rounds are starting to again go heavily in favor of North.
And that Endpoint really cannot allow for too much longer. T-side already at a solid run of rounds. We know that CT is more favored. Crucial. This is the first shot on short. Thankfully, they did connect through the wall, but only tags Gade down 29 of his health. So not that big of a loss so far, at least, but like North will want to again further commit to more of an A-sided split. MSL playing for the angle, but does get the real spots out the arm of a second as well. Easy tag through the door. Trying to fight with Surreal in a mid position like this is never going to pay off for you. Crucial. Forced to drop down. The flashbangs evaded by Gade. Head taken off for the first.
Gade.
As Robin tries to commit. The trade's already through. Back into a 3-on-2, and again from a position where Endpoint had the advantage. It's now North that still make it their own so far. Surreal spots the man cross, but nothing he can do about it. It's got to be a save from Endpoint.
It really has to be. The real. He's got the op that is crucial to their survival. And Mighty Max, of course, the rifle that can help out. Well, as long as it's up there, it presents a unique challenge to North. Even if an eco comes through, which, well, in essence, should be. Although, having saved both of these two weapons, there's a chance they might actually drop. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Yeah, there we go. There's one drop. Crucial will be able to take up arms as well. Surprisingly, Crucial does not drop a rifle to Thomas, but rather goes for utility in Kevlar, and I respect that choice, right? To each his own. Let's see how it goes, though, as we will be having ourselves North with another default. Looking like they want to control upper and middle, and this push into B tunnels could work, although the lineup AZ drops down. He doesn't even need to control this anymore. There's another player coming in to support. AZ still able to keep the numbers high as Cajun B drops a pop flash to support it all. Crucial on B site now isolated. But North know better than to push into his crosshairs. Although MSL offers himself on a silver platter. it's inconceivable. Really, it is. An Endpoint, with a blink of an eye, they lose their whatever advantage they might have had. They lose their chance, whatever it might have been. And all of a sudden, that buy that they just pulled in is not really going to matter for much. It's an eco must. Especially if Robin gets caught here, which is the likely outcome.
Not good in the slightest, Robin. Trying to save what he can, but 8 rounds already on the board for North at this point. Eco round to come. It's again another chance for Endpoint to give North double digits on a T side. Krista even secures the final one as well.
Yep.
They've got a little bit of cash in the bank, but it's definitely not enough to invest. Of course, they are down to pistols. This should be North putting the challenge on for round number 9. And again, this is scarily starting to feel a lot like Overpass. Sure, it was 13-2 at the end of that half, but Crucial. Nice shot, though. Double scout again from Crucial and Robin, seeming like it's already taking hold here. Christu and AZ both have been tagged. There we go. This might be Endpoint's way back into a round at least.
Well, it certainly looks like it, although I wouldn't exactly count them out, or I wouldn't count North out just yet. Gade gonna be able to finish Robin. Of course, the mid shot by MSL did connect if somebody thought that it wasn't working out. Crucial. Ooh la la. Very quick on the reaction. Gade and Cajun B though. Cajun B. Oh, baby. He strikes true, and well, Gade and him seem to be a deadly duo like no other. Thomas, you attempt this. Surely you do. You know what's at stake. You know that full buy round coming up next is there, and regardless if you save or not. And I would just want to see this 1-on-2 by Thomas to see if he can make this happen. In Gandalf, going to be Cajun hiding. Well, there's the first. Starts off well, but Cajun decides to not hide anymore, and as he is on a bit of a wild angle on short, he's able to find the headshot. 9-3. North pay a high price for the victory, but they get it nonetheless, and it becomes now more of a okay, you know, we can lose all 5 as long as we win moment, rather than anything else. They don't really care anymore about the economy. They've got plenty enough still for the next few, and they sell. Oh, there almost could have been an entry I already foresee. Oh, whoa, yo, through the Molotov. Never mind, Gade. He still gets one as Robin is holding the line. The double though, Robin, man in shorts. Perfectly done.
Beautiful.
By the way, did you watch the movie Robin Hood and the Man in Shorts?
I have not.
That is a comedy that you have to watch, absolutely. It's probably one of the better movies, comedic, medieval-based movies. It's basically a comedy on Robin Hood. You need to check it out. It's great. Let me find the actual name.
I think I have actually looking at the trailer.
It's a Men in Tights. Yeah, not Men in Shorts. Robin Hood, Men in Tights. It's like from 1993. It's brilliant.
One that I'll definitely have to revisit. I believe I've seen, if not some, of that film. But North 9-4 as Endpoint. Relying on the heroics of Robin is, you know, it's not a massive issue, but when single individual plays are what wins you around, it shows no real consistency as well. We start as they mean to go on. Christu gets away with the kill. Gade finds a second. This is where the sight will now be pincered. Robin again, the only man consistently putting up kills on this side at the moment. Christu finally closes him down. Nearly a lineup. Hags onto both of the players. Kills away one. Cajun B, though. Oh, Max, no. Trigger finger. A little bit lackluster, but Cajun B, he does reposition nicely. The Real will go for the already aggro site take, though. Catches onto Christou. That should be the round for Endpoint.
Oh, certainly that's the case, or it should be the case. Cajun B, though, he's of course going to attempt this as any other normal would, or as any other player would. Can he make it into a round victory, though? No, of course not. Mighty Max will use the bomb, but North... Well, I guess that's going to work out. 9 rounds to them is still pretty strong. And even though they'll have to drop one more here, perhaps it's, you know, it's not the end of the line. And this last buy is not looking too good. We do have a Galil, an AK, and a few Mech 10s up. Not going to be the most optimal, but let's find out what North will bring up. In any case, 15th, the third map here on Dust 2. Doesn't feel like it. I gotta be honest, you know, how quickly we finished our first map. It feels wrong that we're watching Dust 2 already. Or excuse me, our second map. You know? Feels like this is only the beginning. It's like, okay, we've only entered this series, and nope, it's the third one already. The Real, oh, he's taking a risky gander, but he gets away with it, though not for long. Mighty Max, though, holding the line as he would be expected to.
Very good enough. Gets out into this close corner position as well. Robin has to be careful, but has the crossfire with Max already set up. Gade isolated. Endpoint will get at least round number 6 to close out the half. They will make it somewhat closer. A much better result considering the run of rounds that North could have had. Nobody really having an intense game on North either. 14 kills and 12 for Christou and Gade, but nobody going absolutely insane. Very consistent at the top end of the leaderboard for Endpoint. If we cast our minds back to map number 1, North finished things off 9-6 on the end of the T side, but lost 16-11. That is exactly what Endpoint will be looking for again. It's their T side now to play. Statistically, they're slightly favored side in terms of performance, but losing to Havu this morning on Dust 2, they were only able to get 5 rounds against the 10 of Havu, so we'll see where that does indeed lead us to. But MSL straight into lower tunnels. Endpoint, a different pistol strat than what we're used to on Dust 2. Typically, it's 5-man stack down to long, but this is a very, very different pistol. Pressuring tunnels, Max gets away with 1, but MSL, good for the return. Damage done to Crucial, unfortunately loses his life, but that does grant them a chance, an opportunity down toward the B bomb site. Support is there, but it is a full commit from Endpoint.
Here comes the counter nade, though. Let's see how much damage can be dealt. Well, that's gonna be pretty damn good. AZ still finds a headshot in between. Thomas replies him in at least, and a 2-on-2 ensues as Endpoint, as you said, usually we see long pushes come through, but this is going to be a bit different and a little bit more harder, perhaps, as Endpoint have a flash to work with. The flank being set, not even a flank really. The retake being set to come from tunnels. Both players grouping up. Smart idea. No kit means they'll have to make a move on, though. Oh, Thomas sees it. Pop flash doesn't really work. Thomas wide angles it. Still going to be able to do nothing but a little bit of a tag on Christou. And on site, it's the only one left. Mighty Max. Valiant as it might seem, it's not enough. Second pistol goes to North. And yet again, they will display exactly, well, almost exactly the same start as it was on Vertigo. And as it was on Overpass, with the difference being, well, the half was 13-2 on Overpass, and they just closed it out after when they won the second pistol. On Vertigo, they did fail, though, at 9-6. So let's see if the double digits might save them now, as we have a pistol Kevlar buy for Endpoint, interestingly enough. And perhaps a little bit out of the usual that we see would be AKs and full investments. Okay, AZ.
That's what you like to see.
Yeah, lovely stuff. well, either way, short push.
I love that Surreal has just somehow managed to get into CT with nobody even realizing. It could become a bit more of an issue now here, especially as Robin will lose, or will take a life. There we go, Surreal on his way through CT, gets away with the frag. It's just retrieves himself an M4 as well. There's Thomas. Oh, okay. There we go. That is Endpoint winning. It's not even a force buy round. It's a Desert Eagle eco, but it's a round that they win, and somehow Endpoint just transfer it in their favor. 10-7, money gone for North, and Endpoint, they mean business. It is again their T side where, like on Vertigo, Endpoint did start to look very good.
Well, I think we can all agree to the fact that T side of Endpoint is much better, suits them better, it feels like, as they find more comfortability in the mobility, of course, that Endpoint, that the T side presents to you. You can be a little bit more aggressive. You can run around the map a little bit more, and you don't need to be as stoic, as defensive, especially on Dust. That is quite hard to play as the CT, actually. People might think, oh, you only hold angles. Yeah, sure. Well, that would be easy if this game was made so, or at least that if CSGO was like 1.6, where holding angles was definitively the advantage. Instead, though, it's a little bit different and going to be definitely a lot harder. As Endpoint, you know, they took a bit of an L in the first one, and certainly a few rounds where they could have played it better, but still. They have the chance to overrun North quickly as possible. Well, as quickly as they deem it right. 8-10. As North go through a bit of a rambunctious moment. Gonna have to be an eco here, full one.
Is Endpoint on their way back into this third map now? North just needing to take an eco round. They've got plenty of money for the next, though, with round loss bonus giving them between $5,500 to $6,000 after this round. Nevertheless, could be Endpoint so far getting themselves just a single round behind. Crucial, pretty common strategy on the eco round. Push through those smokes, just see if you can get any kills, and they actually do close out Thomas. Maybe a chance to the second, fair enough. MSL able to finish off Crucial with the assistance of Gade. It's actually fairly decent damage. Robin just tapping away. Will eventually get the job done with Surreal on short. 10-9, a little bit more of a hindrance than Endpoint would have liked, but a fairly clean round with the money they've got as well. Max on 11k. They've got no issue dropping out weapons or so. Well, here we go. With the eco round that North took, plenty of money for them, as we can tell. Double AWP on the board, MSL and AZ tasked with the job of getting North on that upward trend again. But Endpoint, like on Vertigo, they're reliant on their T side to punish North, and so far so good. They are looking much better now. Oh.
They really are. Surreal, there's the entry. AZ was able to secure a frag before he gets caught in the swing, but that is still going to be an important kill for Endpoint. Gade takes a bit of a precautionary flight or fright moment, and well, he's going to take the third option, which is a frag, and unfortunately for him, though, loses his rotation, Cajun B, and gets caught by Thomas once he enters through tunnels. As North are left with a very devastating afterplant. They will not retake this, or at least attempt to retake it. Pull the hell away, save what you have, and live to fight another day is the motto right now. Tied up, Endpoint, seemingly repeating the success of Vertigo. And North's, it appears to be that it's either the 9-6 that seems to be kryptonite for North.
Yeah.
Or it's just the fact they're having to play on the CT that seems to be the kryptonite. I'm not sure, but either way, it's not really looking too sweet right now.
Yeah, like it was on Vertigo, right? They even won the pistol round and got up to 11-6 on that map.
Yep.
But then it was still, like you say, the CT side that really did fail for North and allowed Endpoint pretty much back into a similar position that we are seeing right here. And with another eco round on the way, sure, they've saved a couple of weapons. Those will be greatly appreciated for the two players that do have Kevlar. They can afford to buy into pistols and Kevlar themselves. 3,400 round loss bonus, so they can at least drop down to pretty much just about where Gate is. 1,800 being that minimum mark. But either way, oh, crucial. There we go. Beautiful entry already guarantees the initial frag, drops the second rifle, or one of the only rifles. Leaves the AWP isolated, thankfully can be retrieved. This is Endpoint, like on Vertigo, looking to establish a T-side lead. And like you said, it seems like the CT side is maybe just a bit more precautious for North and not as bruteful, but we'll see where this goes. MSL gets out with one, but Surreal quick for the trade. AWP can at least be gathered back in their favor. Now it all depends on this long push. AZ might just have a position of dreams here.
Oh.
Smoke down, no need to peek.
AZ!
Times it right, gets away with one, but unfortunately, that's all he gets. Surreal trading the kills. There's the round already.
AZ, man, he had...
Could have had 3.
Well, 3 would be difficult, but yes, that is definitely...
Yeah.
2 would have been guaranteed, though, if he had played that a little bit less shakily. Also, MSL, greedy as hell. And, well, he pays the price for it, you know? He gets the first frag on short, or peeking from short, and then decides to stay on the same angle. Like, mate, you're gonna have to rethink your life choices there. That was not exactly smart, and potentially well, potentially not, but rather than anything, it was a determining factor in the round itself, because Endpoint immediately got the refrag. You could see then the push through long, and Thomas, of course, making his way in towards middle. Overall, it was a round that North actually had a great chance to pick it up. Instead, well, it all went to hell. Cajun B. Nade on Surreal, though, as Endpoint looked to split B itself. Ooh. Moment of respite there for North. Cajun forces them out of mid position.
Still definitely a bit of a cause for concern. MSL, great use of the angle. Double scope always makes it close. Bomb down, though, crucial. That is a death that they did not want to take. North finally making a competent CT round. 5 players still alive so far and should be relatively easy cleanup. MSL lands the tag. Needs a single bullet to finish the job and will be able to get it. 11 on the board. Tied up yet again. Look at the money of Endpoint, though. They will have no issue whatsoever in being able to front a purchase. So North is all about consistency. They lose this one. Thankfully, reset potential is not there, but it is allowing Endpoint to again restabilize it. Crucial on the cross. Goes for the shot. Does not land anything. 2 shots fired. 2 shots coming close, but nothing to be gained. Look at this, though, from Thomas. Great out one for the angle. Cajun B, though, outsmarts for the first. No trade to come either. Robin tagged low. The nade doesn't even finish the job. Gets away with a refrag. Oh, and Thomas. Oh!
Thomas!
Okay, there we
Bloody
go.
hell.
Where did that come from?
Wow. That was a bit of a blind shot into the smoke. And, well, he connects it. That's the best part. And, well. It is going to be Gade left alone. North starting off strong in their position. You know, Cajun B getting away with that one frag, jumping into pit, surviving the nade even. Only to then be immediately destroyed a moment later. An Endpoint overtaking North quite quickly. Once again, 12-11 as North is starting to be devastated by this loss. They will have enough to rebuy, don't mind that, but this is starting to shape into a very scary potential outcome here. Endpoint is, again, proving to be the better team, and that much is clear as day.
So far, so good. Endpoint like it was on Vertigo, it is, again, seeming to replicate another solid T-side success. But still, thankfully they get a rebuy. And though it's one of those where if Endpoint take away this round, it's not just 13. Money is gone. North would be, again, in danger of losing Dust 2 like they lost Vertigo. 16-11 is still a possibility with the way that this game is going right now. And North, again, capitulating on the CT side. They just cannot allow Endpoint get the similar momentum as they did on map number 1, because with the way that Overpass looked, we know what North have got in the tank. We know what they're capable of. Endpoint just seeming to really limit what this side is able to do. However, crucial. Time, no aggro peek from Christu. The right thing to do. Ooh. 3 players on the A site. Endpoint do want to commit. It will be more of a difficult setup to handle, but no reason to decide yet. They've got 1 minute and 5 left to play. Endpoint just playing as composed as ever, gathering the info. With no mid presence, they've got to have worked out that this is definitely a site stack. They should be directing their play towards mid, if not having a flank hold it. But yeah, they've realized that mid is most likely open. They'll split. I'd assume Robin and Mighty Max down through middle if they do commit to B, but they've got options here, and plenty of them with that mid position open.
Most definitely, and in this case, currently, there is this B execution that is coming behind it all, and Surreal, he clears out CT. This is a dead giveaway what is going on, or at least how it could all be going down. Let's find out, though, if the B execution actually works. The Gate spots them crossing out. AZ behind the corner, not to be checked first, but he still gets one away before getting trampled over. And Mighty Max and Surreal, 2 vital frags. MSL keeping it realistic, keeping it doable for North at least. 12-11 will be shaping up to be 14 soon enough if Endpoint or take it away. And well, crucial, he found the deep flank. Christo will be denied his chance. And MSL, a 1-on-2. This is it. Well, it really is it. 13-11. Money is gone. The position weakened, and North is on the verge of being put down south. This is not looking good anymore.
The timeout to be called. Only the second one of the game, just to, 1, have a tactical pause, but 2, get Yumpy back on the server. Need his guidance here as well. I don't even know what was... I didn't even realize he wasn't in, to be fair, but either way. 13-11. It's got to be an eco round. They can't afford to commit, unfortunately, into the full buy. But again, Endpoint, T side being very fruitful for them. The spawn that they've got to the B site, this should be Thomas looking to already capitalize on this sort of situation. He is aimed and ready for the B-sided take. Oof, MSL tagged on the cross as well. Does get away with a frag. AZ good peek though. This is where the B pressure will come. Thomas using his spawn to his advantage. Already able to cross over, peeking off of the back of the smoke. Gade has to be careful. Does get spotted, I believe. Thomas.
Oh, sorry.
We'll see a second on radar as well. Give the info up. AZ has to be careful. A 4-on-3 already. The B site locked out.
Well, I think we know where this is going by the looks of it. Thomas the nade as well. And all of a sudden, everything that Nord have built up to be and put their might into seemingly gone with a flick of the wrist, excuse me. What can I say? This is looking very weak out of North, and I did not expect them to be handled like this. Christo, no such luck to be doing any sort of damage. Cage and B, of course, he's got a rifle to save. Money has been tight. Loss bonus gonna go up to a maximum right here, but 14-11 as we are reaching the final hour of this third and final map of the best of three, the second one of the day, the decider series, excuse me, the elimination series. Decider coming straight after. Havu patiently waiting for whoever meets them head on. This is definitely still a very open-ended question, though, as the buy round, the double op, comes out for North. Let's see how it spins.
North trying to scramble to keep themselves in the game. Has to pay off as well, unfortunately. The money that they've spent trying to win this round. If they lose it, they are bankrupt for the next. Longhouse taken, but Robin reclaims it. Cristo already shut out of the round. Cajun B forced to retreat. At least gets himself onto the back of the bomb site somewhat safely. Players from this T side start to slowly approach. Smokes have faded. Cajun B, head spotted. Does get away with his life just barely. Molotov will force him off of the front of ramp, though. MSL, the flashbang good enough to keep him blind. The players crossing toward the site. Position given up. AZ, however, does catch on to Thomas. Cajun B gets a second. The flank is on its way, and Robin trades the frag. AZ tagged down low, but again, trying for it. Aid good return, but missing shots.
Oh,
Robin!
Robin!
What a play! AZ left isolated, low health, and there's the round. 15 for Endpoint.
Series point achieved as Robin plays a bit of a hero in tights, and he gets himself, well, a tight round, and still North. They're left with very waning options. We've got FAMASAs coming up, the 1 AWP, Cajun B, Gade on the M4A4. And I was wondering when we would see Cajun B on the op, man. Came as a surprise that MSL was wielding it all this time. You know, wanted to see a little bit of that action, but seems like they'll switch it back up. AZ. He gets himself one through the smoke. Surely not. Surely you don't go through there, Cajun. Well, he will. The pop flash is magnificent to a certain degree, but it's not enough. Thomas still keeping the numbers equal. And B-side's been lost. Oh no! MSL! The most crucial of mistakes just being made. Or no, wait, it wasn't MSL actually. Excuse me, it was Gade. The most crucial of mistakes, leaving the B-side wide open like that. All of a sudden, a 3-on-3 retake. Well, how do you succeed? You do not. Mighty Max and Crucial. There it is. There we have it. The lockdown and the finisher. As of course, none other than Endpoint take it. What a